Okay, so we are on the final part here, and I want to give you a preview of what's going to happen. You see that we got the cool design on the outside, right? And what's holding that on is periodic wraps around the whole thing. Okay, got to be at least 2. You can do 3 if you want. 2 is really all that's required. And when you do these, this is a 3 and 3, but when you do them, they're going to be underneath that top one when you do the wrap. You can see here that's underneath that top one. So, and you need to do it in between each one of these stakes. You got to do a double wrap. Okay, and you can see that that is done along the inside of this. Okay, got to have a weave right or something to open that up. And I have taken away the clips and replaced them with tie wraps. So I've got my lovely form and I know what I want on the inside rim, okay? Now the outside rim I've taken off and I have put my 2 pieces of smoked reed on top, and yes, it is a little bit bigger than that, okay? There's my rim material underneath, and I am holding it in place just until I get started here with rubber band. Now, I'm right-handed, so I want to go from left to right, okay, with this. It's just, you know, if it works for you to do it, otherwise that's fine too. So we're going to start this off with a piece of cane just like we did on the candle. Okay, so you're going to leave the tail. And I left a little bit here in case I need it. You never know. So I'm going to put my tail diagonally across, and then I'm going to wrap it for about 3. Remember, cane has a shiny side, and it has a shiny side and has a rough side, and sometimes it's hard to tell, especially with this cane because it's just really good cane. You want the shiny side up. All right, so I'm going to wrap this for about 3. Just to secure that tail. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, actually I think I'll go one more. I don't want it on top of one another. I want it right next to each other. Okay, and so I've got this, and actually I'm going to put a clip on this for just a second so I don't lose it. And I'm going to take this off. Don't need that anymore. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing this weave. So it is over 3, under 3. And I do start this off the rim just to get it going, but it won't be long here before we put it back on the actual basket. So, whichever one you're doing, try it that way and see if it doesn't work. Usually I do this in my lap. So I want that down there tight, like that. So I'm going to go over 3 here, and then I'm going to switch it up. And probably what I can do at this point is trim that guy up. And I'm going to go under 3 this time on this one. And once I've got about 3 of each of these, it's time to go look and see how that looks on the rim and how much I think I'm going to have to weave further before I've got to do that double wrap. So let's do 1 set of this, and then we'll throw it on the actual basket and see what we got. And make sure it doesn't twist. So you're keeping that shiny side to the outside of the basket. Like I say, if you need a break, the phone rings, you got to do something, put a clip on it. And you can walk away from it. You don't have to worry about it unraveling. Okay, so that is 3 and 3. Okay, so this is how we're going to start this bad boy out. We got this outside rim temporarily held on with clips. Okay. And what I've done is I've started out my rim, my outside rim. See that is the beginning of it. It has my 2 overlays on top of it. Now, remember on this one, I said that when you are going, actually in this case under, that you need to, when you're going under, when you're going under, you need to grab the whole rim thing, right? In this instance, I did 4, one of them I did 3, one of them I did 2. It doesn't matter as long as you do it. Don't do just 1 and expect it to hold. At least 2, better 3. Okay? So, when I'm starting out here, what I've done is I've wrapped this 3 times. This is my tail left over to pull it tight. And then I've gone around the whole rim twice, and I'm going to do this one more time. Okay? If you're having trouble threading this through here, and there's lots of threading, you can use an awl to open that up. I'm going to make sure this doesn't twist on you. Okay. And that it stays wet. So even though, see now I have 3 here. And if you're worried about it staying tight because cane is a little bit slippery, you can always follow it around behind with a clip. Okay, so that's the 3rd wrap there, and it's going to be the 3rd guy here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, and this is not the angle I would do it at, I'm going to release these because I can't weave it with it on and go underneath that. So this kind of has to be free falling, as Mr. Petty would say. And I'm going between, this is cumbersome when you first start out. I'm going in between the rim and the basket, not all the way through, to do this design. Okay? So, now what I'm going to do is 3 on the top of this. Making sure I don't twist it. Here's my 3rd one. Okay. And then I'm going to take a look. Okay. Do I need to go through all 3 of them yet? No, because I've not passed the stake. I have to be over in this area here before I have to do that wrap. So I'm going to keep going with my design then. Now right now I can pull this up. I won't be able to in a minute. And what I do with this is I sit it in my lap and weave it. For me that works better. I can see it better. So, and of course you can't see it that way, but what I end up doing is weaving it this way. So, we'll attempt to do that. I doubt it can be done. So now I'm going to be underneath there. Okay, and this is going to be 1. Pulling that whole thing up again, underneath there. 2. I'm still not on that other side of the stake, but I have twisted my reed cane. Okay, and here's the 3rd one. So now what I'm looking to see is, can I go through there? Yes, I can. So I'll open this up and I'll go through there and grab the whole thing again. This is something to do when you're watching TV. So it does take some time. There's just no getting around it, but the effect is simply charming. So I want to tighten these all up, make sure they're good and tight. Now this time, I'm going around the whole schmear, see? And I go underneath here. So I know that I said you have to do it underneath. You don't have to do that. You have to do it when you come along on the other side of the stake is a better thing to say. How's that? And once again, if you're having trouble opening that up, use your awl. And I'm still going around the whole schmear, making sure that I don't have a twist in my cane. And I'm going to go around one more time. But you can see what that does here and how this looks. Okay? So I'm going to continue to keep weaving around here, and then I will periodically check back in and show you what I'm doing, especially as I come around here. Alright, so I'm adding on. There's my tabby. I'm going to go right on top of that. And, of course, it needs to be wet. Oops. And I'm going to leave some tail here because I can trim that back off. Okay. And around I go. And if this was wet, it would be holding better. Okay. So I want that on top of there. And bring this around. And I still need to do a little bit more on the weave side before this is going to be ready to go past there. So I'm going to come up here and go through here. But I just wanted to show you how you start another piece. And then I'll go back and trim that up. And once again, I'm going to follow around with my little clip. Actually, my little clip probably needs to be the bigger clip. Okay? So, how to start one when you've run out.